Hello, and welcome to I Watch This as an Adult, the podcast where I watch movies from my childhood from an adult perspective. And this month of May is Damon Wayans month. I will be reviewing Damon Wayans movies all throughout the month of May. And this week, I start with 1994's Blankman. Okay, 1994's Blankman. Here we go. I'm going to start off by saying that this movie was still surprisingly enjoyable. Usually I save that for the end of the podcast, but I'm going to say at the beginning that this movie was surprisingly enjoyable. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I remember watching this movie when I was a kid. I haven't watched this movie. This is another movie I haven't watched in years, and I try to pick movies that I haven't watched in years to watch again. Like I'm trying to pick movies that I haven't watched in a long time, like maybe a good 20 years, a good 10 years since I've seen the movie. I try to pick those type of movies and watch those again and see them through my adult lenses, but this movie was surprisingly still enjoyable because I used to love the hell out of Blankman as a kid. I loved this movie as a kid. I know fun fact about this movie before we start off with this review and what I think about the movie and what I think about everything in the movie and whatever, and probably go off into rambling some shit off and whatever. But but yeah, fun fact about this movie: this was originally supposed to be a handyman movie. Handyman is a character that Damon Wayans played on In Living Color, but the studio did not think that handyman would be an appropriate character to make a movie out of, because he's making fun of mentally challenged people, pretty much. Which Blankman, I don't know what they thought of Blankman. The studio thought of Blankman. They thought enough, I guess, to put it out. But there's some things in here that don't age well either in this movie. But we'll get to that. First off, I want to say the soundtrack's fucking whack. Movie's good. I enjoyed the movie. The movie is, like I said, the movie's still enjoyable. But soundtrack is fucking whack. It's just, it's like typical 90s R&B and hip hop. But like terrible, like it's just terrible 90s R&B and hip hop. Like, this soundtrack did not age well. It sounds exactly like the time frame, because it's not like the Boomerang soundtrack. I think you could listen to the Boomerang soundtrack in 2020 and it doesn't sound dated. I don't know. I've heard a couple of songs on the radio still. Like there's this retro R&B station. I guess 90s R&B is retro now, but like they still play some songs off of that soundtrack, and they kind of blend, like they still blend. They don't sound dated to me, like songs off of that soundtrack. But if you play a song off the Blankman soundtrack, that this shit came out in like 1994. You're gonna be like, this came out in 1994. I could tell, dated ass soundtrack. You get to the beginning of the movie, it's two little boys, Kevin and Daryl Walker, watching Batman. Actually, they're watching the old 60s Batman show on an old television. It's actually Damon Wayans' sons playing the younger version of Kevin and Daryl. Damon Wayans Jr. and what's his other son's name? It's like I know his other son knocked up I'm about to say Grandmaster Flash. But he knocked up Reverend Run's daughter. I know he's the one that had sex with Reverend Run's daughter. I don't remember his name though. But like the other son, he plays he actually plays young Daryl, and Damon Wayans Jr. plays young Kevin. And so, like, they're just watching the Batman television show. They're really obsessed with the Batman TV show. And they live with their grandmother, played by Lynn Thigpen. Lynn Thigpen. For the amount of time she's in this movie, she is amazing. Excuse me, I have to cough. Excuse me. For the amount of time that she's in this movie, she is amazing. I want to say she's not in this movie very long. I want to say she's in the movie for about maybe 20 minutes. And then something quite horrible happens to her later on in the movie. So, like, she's in this movie for about 20 minutes. But the 20 minutes she's in this movie, she is giving her all. I want to say she's putting her all into this movie. And it is great. Lynn Thigpen was an underrated actress. For anybody that grew up in the 90s, you may know her as Chief on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. you may know her. She actually passed away, I want to say around like 98, 99. I don't think she made it to the 2000s. I don't think Lynn Thigpen lived to see the 2000s. I want to say she died in like the late 90s, like 1998, 1999. She was a great actress, man. She played the mom in Lean On Me, like the disgruntled mom in Lean On Me. She was great as Chief on Carmen Sandiego. She's done a whole bunch of like guest spots that I've seen her in throughout her career. Like, great fucking actress, man. It's sad that she died. It's sad that she died so soon. You know, like, I would have loved to seen more from her. Cause I don't really think she was that old when she died. But yeah, man. She's a great fucking actress. I loved every time I saw Lynn Thigpen. I thought she's an amazing actress. That's all I got to say. But yeah, you see young Daryl and young Kevin, and then they transition into adults. Daryl Walker, played by Damon Wayans. He's pretty much like if Clark Kent and Steve Urkel had a baby. You know, pretty much is what he is. He's like, it's turned up to 11. And you see Kevin Walker, played by David Alan Grier. He's a cameraman. He works at like a local news station. And he's trying to get with Kimberly Jones, played by Robin Givens. And might I add about Robin Givens, because I actually watched this movie with my wife. She sat in and watched the movie with me, and we both said it. Actually, she said it before me. And it was on the tip of my tongue. She said Robin Givens is a succubus. That's what she said. And I was saying, I told her, I was like, I was just about to say that. Robin Givens is a fucking succubus. You look at her, she's a strikingly beautiful woman. I'm not gonna take that away from her. Strikingly fucking beautiful. And that's how she's a fucking man-eater. She's a fucking Black Widow. She lures men in because she's so sophisticated and smart, and she speaks proper English, you know, and like she's just beautiful. She's got a nice body, you know. She looks like the type of girl that like you can have a fucking beer with or whatever, and like do all types of shit, and then she just sucks you in, and then she makes your life a living fucking hell. You know, Robin Givens just seems like that type of woman. Well, she is that type of woman, because you saw what happened to Mike Tyson. But you saw what happened to Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson went down a downward spiral after Robin Givens, and he ended up in prison. So that was like, you know. And like, I almost fell for that too, because looking at Robin Givens, like I said, she's fucking beautiful, man. Like, she's a 10 out of 10 beautiful woman. And like, I almost fell into that trap too, because I was looking at her, and I was like, just looking at her, I was like, God damn. And then I was like, wait a minute, what am I talking about? I was like, I know what she does. I know what this woman does to men, and it's not good. But she's in this movie as Kimberly Jones. and Kevin, played by David Alan Grier, wants to get with her. There is a funny scene in here where, because Daryl gives Kevin a belt buckle communicator, because Daryl is an inventor. He invents things. He takes like scraps and scrap metal and he just makes things. He's like a kind of like a super genius of the hood, you know, pretty much hood super genius. And he makes Kevin a belt. He makes Kevin a communicator belt. And he said, you can talk to me when you're at work or whatever he was talking about. Whenever you need to talk to me, you can talk to me. And it has like radar and all this other shit on it. But like you have to open up the belt buckle and take out a like headphone, like there's like an earphone, and like you take out the earphone and you gotta speak into the belt buckle. So like there is a funny scene. This scene's funny where I think Kevin is talking into the belt buckle and it looks like he's talking to his penis, and Robin Givens' character comes up and sees him talking to his penis, and like she thinks he's fucking crazy, and she I think he gave her his number, and she was like, yeah, you know what, you could take this back. Like, you're crazy. And it's an hilarious, I think it's an hilarious fucking scene. Still funny to me. So we get to like about the middle of the movie. Daryl's grandmother works for a I don't know what this guy is. Like, he's a senator running for mayor. I know he ends up becoming mayor. And like I guess he's getting like, there's like this guy, this mob guy with who I will talk about a little bit later on in the podcast. But like, I'll talk about him a little bit later. I'm moving forward too far. But like, anyway, Daryl decides to become Blankman after his grandmother, played by Lynn Thigpen, is brutally murdered, which comes out of nowhere. Even when I was a kid, that scene like always like took me off guard. You know, like when I saw this movie for the first time, that scene took me off guard because like it's all funny at the beginning. You know, like it's all funny at the beginning, and it's just very lighthearted, and you're like, ha 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 ha, and then his grandmother gets like mowed down with a fucking machine gun. You know, like they don't show her getting shot, but you get the gist. They just show the guy coming in there with the machine gun and just like spraying everybody that's in the building. So like her and a couple of other people die in the building. I think it was like some old black man and some Asian woman. I think they were like in the building too, and like guy just comes in and just kills all three of them, just sprays them all, and it's just unexpected as fuck, you know, and that's what makes Daryl decide to become Blankman. Kevin thinks he's crazy. You like, dude, you're gonna get your ass blown off if you run out here trying to be a vigilante. Don't do this shit and all of this shit, but David Alan Grier in this movie, man. My God. David Alan Grier. Damon Wayans, too. Because Damon Wayans does things like his, like, when you first see him as Daryl, he does something in there, and he doesn't even say a word. Like, he doesn't say a word. This is like comedy 101, sketch comedy 101, acting 101. He doesn't say, I can't believe I'm saying this about Blankman, like acting 101 in Blankman, I know, but he does something in this movie when he's first introduced, and you're like, he doesn't say a word. It's just a mannerism that he does, and it makes you laugh, you know. And it's a small mannerism. You have to like really be paying attention to see it, and like I saw it and it made me laugh. And like if you watch the movie, you have to go back to when he's introduced as adult Daryl and see it, and you'll be like, wow, that was actually pretty funny, because he does not say one word. He doesn't say a word, and it's a mannerism that just makes you crack up laughing. But David Alan Grier is the best part of this movie. Because like he is taking this. He's taking this. What am I saying? What am I trying to say here? If you watch this podcast for enough time, I get caught up in my words sometimes. But I'm trying to think of a word. He's taking this material. That's what I'm saying. He took this material seriously. It's a comedy, and it's making fun of superheroes, but he took it seriously. I love it. Like his comedic timing is on point. His dramatic timing is on point. Just like certain things he does, like he's like all around like the best actor in this whole goddamn movie. Like I said, Damon's good. He handles all the comedy. Like his comedic timing, Damon's comedic timing in this movie is impeccable. Even like I said, like David Alan Grier's comedic timing is impeccable. But his dramatic timing is great, off the charts. When it's time to be serious, he's serious. When it's time to be funny, he's funny. He's just an all around Swiss Army knife in this goddamn movie. And I appreciate him for that. I was like, David Alan Grier is probably one of the most underrated comedic actors, I think, of all time. I think David Alan Grier should be bigger than what he is, really. Because like I know he just gets like sitcom after sitcom after sitcom, and they all get canceled. And I don't think that's deserving of a great actor like David Alan Grier, of a great comedic actor. I think really he should be, out of all the In Living Color guys, because Jim Carrey went on to be something famous. All the Wayans brothers, went on to be something. Jamie Foxx had a little tough spill, but he went on to be something eventually. Because I think the mid 90s were not kind to Jamie. The mid 90s were not kind to Jamie. He was kind of suffering. And then around I think around 2000, 2001 is when he started, his star started to rise, and he became Jamie Foxx, But David Alan Grier should have been one of those people too. David Alan Grier is a great all-around actor, and I don't think we appreciate him enough for being as great of an actor as he is. But David Alan Grier holds his own. He's fucking impeccable in this movie. He's great in this movie. Takes the shit seriously, like an actor should. No matter what fucking movie you're in, take it seriously. The opposite of that is Robin Givens, because she doesn't take this shit seriously at all. She is phoning it in like a motherfucker. She is fucking phoning it in. She's probably the worst actor in this goddamn movie. Cause all her dialogue is stilted. It's like she's reading off of the script. Like she just got finished reading the script and she's trying to memorize the script. When that happens, it's gotta be you gotta be really into acting and really into dialogue and shit to know about that. But it's she is stilted in her acting. You can tell, and she's just playing this. It's like she's trying to be Lois Lane. It's like she watched Margot Kidder in the first Superman movie, and she was like, I'm gonna be that. And she fails miserably. She fails fucking miserably, because she is just hamming it up, and she is just phoning it the fuck in. And I've never really thought that Robin Givens was that great of an actress in the first place. Because everything she's in, I'm like, whatever, even I'm not even gonna talk about that, but I'll save that for when I review that movie. But I'm not even gonna talk about that. But I've never really thought Robin Givens was that great of an actress. I never really thought that. But here, she really shows it that she's not a great actress. The main villain in this movie, I think his name is Michael Manelli. He's he's a mob boss. He's played by a veteran actor named Joe Polito. Was his name Joe Polito or John Polito? I'm sorry, I said Joe Polito. John Polito. he also passed away, I think, a couple years ago. He's no longer with us. Also, he's been in a lot of movies. I remember he was like the star. He was like the store owner in The Crow. That's another famous role that he did. He's been in a bunch of other movies I can't really think of right now, but he's always been kind of like this character actor, and like he's the main villain in here. He's really over the fucking top. He's for mob boss, because there's a scene in this movie where I think his henchmen take over a bank and they take the mayor hostage, and they blow a hole into the ground, like into the floor of the bank, and he comes out of the floor of the bank like a fucking 60s Batman villain. Like pretty much like a Joel Schumacher Batman villain, pretty much. He is a Joel Schumacher Batman villain. Or like Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, like that shit. He is that. And he just comes up from out of the hole in the fucking he comes up from out of the hole in the fucking in the bank, and he's just like, yes, and he just I'm like, you're a fucking mob boss, why are you so fucking flamboyant? You know, he's over the fucking top. He's over the top throughout this whole fucking movie. He's not in the movie very much, but he's over the fucking top in this whole goddamn movie. It's insane. I love it though. I love it. But like I said, like overall, I still think this is a decent movie. I think it's not bad. I laughed. I thought it was still a hilarious movie. Everything I was supposed to laugh at, I laughed at. I don't know if it was because my wife was watching it with me, but everything I laughed at, I laughed at. I think there were some things that she didn't laugh at. You know, so like everything I laughed at, I laughed at. There was like even one scene that had me laughing for a good like 2-3 minutes, and I can't even remember what it is right now. But it was something I think like around like in the middle of the movie or something like that. But still hilarious. Still a hilarious movie. I love it. I do feel like there were some scenes in this movie that were like kind of inappropriate. There's a scene where like they're at Daryl and Kevin's grandmother's funeral, and it's like his grandmother. I'm gonna remind you, his grandmother was mowed down with a machine gun, brutally murdered. I don't know where they shot her, but like it's a closed casket. she got a closed casket. You saw it. Like in the movie, they don't show the body, closed casket, you know. So she got fucked up, you know. And they try to kind of make comedy out of the funeral, out of the grandmother's funeral, because Damon Wayans' character is a little bit over the top with the crying, and like it's kind of comical, and you don't want to laugh because it's supposed to be a serious scene. It's supposed to be the catalyst for why he becomes Blankman, and you're like, I don't want to laugh at this. This is supposed to be serious, you know. But that happens, and then like there's a couple of stereotypes in this movie. For one, the nerd stereotype. You got Blankman, Daryl Walker. He's pretty much a fucking nerd stereotype. That's how they think nerds act, especially black nerds. And you know, that's a fucking stereotype. You know, Urkel was around, so like that's the stereotype that sticks with black nerds. So I'm kind of offended, but you know, because I don't act like that at all. But and I like a lot of like geeky shit, but I don't act like that at all. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't act like this. But anyway, you also got like there's like a scene where like there's a talk show. And Greg Kinnear is in this movie. Greg Kinnear is the talk show host. And there's a couple of superheroes that pop up. There's one called Gay Man. And like he's dressed in like leather chaps. And he has like a handlebar mustache. And then there's another one called Midget Man. Can't do that today. You know, that's not something you can do today at all. But other than that, I think they hit like all the comedy beats, like all the comedy beats they hit. I laughed. Like I said, I laughed every time I was supposed to laugh. Damon Wayans and David Alan Grier have chemistry. You really believe that they're brothers. You know, like they make you believe that they're really brothers. David Alan Grier's character is very protective of Damon Wayans' character. You know, like a big brother should be to a little brother. You know, so those guys got comedic chemistry. Those guys got all types of chemistry together, man. I guess that was from being on In Living Color together. Is the chemistry never stops. And they were, because they did work together on In Living Color a lot. They were in a lot of skits together on Living Color. One, I remember, Men on Films. Men on Films, they did that a lot. So I guess they bonded from doing Men on Films, and that's why they have so much chemistry. But overall, I like this movie, man. I know a lot of people kind of like shit on this movie, you know, because like they're like, "Hey, man, what about black superheroes, man?" They're like, "This is because they're like, this is the black superhero we get. We get Blankman, because I think a year before that we got Meteor Man, which was played by Robert Townsend, and like both these movies kind of bombed." And I was like, I'm kind of like, those movies aren't meant to be serious. Like, it's a superhero parody. Like, Blankman's a superhero parody. I don't know what the fuck Meteor Man was, but I'll review Meteor Man sometime down the road, because I do want to get to Meteor Man. But yeah, I know that we don't have a lot of serious black superheroes out here. You know, I mean, in the movie business, like in like, we don't have a lot of serious. Let me rephrase that. We don't have a lot of serious black superhero movies. Because we got a whole bunch of black superheroes. You pop open a couple of comic books, you'll see them. We got a whole bunch of fucking superheroes, black superheroes. But it's just the movies that are like kind of hard to get off the ground. The first serious superhero movie we had was like Spawn, I think, like 1997, and that was a piece of shit. Then we got Steel, that was a piece of shit. Blade was cool, but nobody even knew that Blade was a superhero. Like the average local yokel, average Joe, whoever, didn't even know that Blade was a Marvel superhero. You know, they just saw Wesley Snipes in black, and they just thought it was like a fucking action hero. You know, like they thought it was an action movie. They didn't even know he was a fucking superhero. Like dudes teamed up with fucking Spider-Man. You know, like he's teamed up with Daredevil. He's teamed up with a lot of like fucking superheroes before this, but people don't know that. That's why people cling to Black Panther so much. I understand why people. I went on a rant about Black Panther, couple episodes. Watch my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles review, and you'll see my Black Panther rant where I wasn't really that big of a fan of Black Panther. I mean, I was a big fan of Black Panther. I'm a huge fan of Black Panther in general. Like I said, like I've been a fan of Black Panther since I was like 9 years old. But I'm not a real big fan of the movie. I'm a big fan of Chadwick Boseman as the character. Chadwick Boseman does a good job as the character when he's in other movies. You know, like Civil War, he was fucking badass. You know, Infinity War, he's a fucking badass. Endgame, he was you know, they didn't give him a lot of screen time in Endgame, but like he was there and he did his best. Let me just say that. But go watch my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles review and you find out what I think about Black Panther. But anyway, that's why people cling to Black Panther. You know, even like black female superheroes don't do very well. In the theater, we had Halle Berry as Catwoman. That movie is just dreadful. I don't think we'll have another black superhero female for like another 10, 20 years now. I don't know. But that's why I think Captain Marvel should have been black, because there is a black Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. Actually, I believe she is the first Captain Marvel. She's the first Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. And they have Monica Rambeau in the Captain Marvel movie, but she's a little kid. And I kind of felt like, I know they're trying to push Carol Danvers. I know they're trying to push Carol Danvers as like this important deal. You know, there was like a whole bunch of things that happened in the Marvel universe that kind of shifted her to be like the poster child for Marvel now. She's the female Superman, I guess, from Marvel. Like she's like this, they're trying to push her as this big feminist poster child at Marvel. And I know a lot of people ain't feeling it, a lot of people ain't feeling it. And I know it's best for her to have the movie because like she's the poster child for Marvel now. But I kind of wanted to see Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel. I was kind of they're going to do Monica Rambeau, actually. They're going to do her, actress named Tiana Parrish actually got the role of adult Monica Rambeau. I believe she's going to show up in the second Doctor Strange movie. Because the second Doctor Strange movie is going to be fucking stacked. Because it's not only going to be Doctor Strange, because I think you're going to get Brother Voodoo, another black superhero. He hasn't been cast yet. You're going to get Scarlet Witch. You're going to get America Chavez. She hasn't been cast yet. She's a Latina superhero. And you're going to get Monica Rambeau. Like I said, who's played by Tiana Parrish. They already cast her. Once again, going back to my Black as Fuck review, a dark-skinned woman playing a superhero. Don't tell me dark-skinned women don't get good roles. Just saying. Miss me with that bullshit. But yeah, man, that should be cool. I'm looking forward. I was excited because Tiana Parrish is an underrated actress, I think. She was in Chirac, and she was also in If Beale Street Can Talk. She was the main character in Chirac, and she wasn't really the main character if Beale Street Could Talk, but like she's in it. She plays the main character's sister. So like I'm happy for her to finally get like a major role and playing a superhero at that. That's fucking great for her. But yeah, looking forward to that. Let's see if she gets her own movie. I would love to see her get her own movie. But yeah, man, but getting back to this, I understand why people kind of shit on Blankman and the whole Black Panther did, but I don't think Damon Wayans was trying to make a superhero movie. I think he was just making fun of superheroes. I think he thought that Batman was silly. He thought that the 60s Batman show was silly, and he just wanted to make fun of it. Pretty much what he wanted to do. That was it. Well, overall, like I said, like the movie. I give it a 4 out of 5. I'll be back next week with my next Damon Wayans movie. I recently watched Mo Money while I was watching Blankman. Gotta prepare for that one.